record this meeting really quick. All right, so I'm gonna share with you something that is really, really personal. And here's why I appreciate you guys showing up and holding me accountable to you. One of my biggest fears in business is throwing an event that nobody shows up to. Right? It's a huge fear of mine, you guys, and I'm going to be vulnerable. You guys are vulnerable in this environment. One of my biggest fears is throwing an event that no one shows up to. So let me give you guys a little bit of color on this. So when I first walked into real estate, this is now going on, is it 6 years? I'm heading up on my 6th year as a leader in this business. So when I originally was going to go into this business, I was running a marketing company in the Bay Area for a timeshare company. Well, on the side, I want to sell real estate. And so I walked into Coldwell Banker to hang my license with Coldwell Banker at the regional office in Concord. I walked in there, sat down with the regional manager who is now my mentor and is still a really good mentor and friend of mine. He sits me down, we start talking, and I'm just being myself, 100% myself. And within 5 minutes of our conversation, he says, you know what, Elias, I just don't think that this is the right environment for you. I was like, all right, cool, man. Then I'm gonna go somewhere else. I appreciate your time. And right before I was going to leave, the fire alarm goes off in Coldwell Banker Corporate. I'm talking this big old giant building right off of Gateway Boulevard in Concord, right where the T-Mobile building is too. And so everyone has to evacuate. So I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of people going down the stairs. We're worried. I don't know what's happening. So we get outside, hundreds and hundreds of people in front of Coldwell Banker. So I'm standing there with the dude and I was like, there's a Mimi's Cafe across the street. I was like, man, you want to continue this conversation? Obviously we have some time. It's like, yeah, I'm open to the conversation. So we go across the street, we start talking, tell him a little bit more what I want to accomplish. And he's like, all right, well, let's touch base tomorrow. That night, he sent me an email. He's like, I'm actually looking for a leader. He's like, I don't know if you have the qualifications, you have tons of leadership experience, but he's like, I'm looking for someone to run a Coldwell Banker team. It's the second largest Coldwell Banker team in the United States of America for the internet lead team. And he's like, if you're interested, please respond to this email. So I responded to the email, put together these clever collection of words that I thought were really catchy and we're going to get his attention and be like, this is the right guy. Less than 2 weeks later, they put me on a flight to Houston to meet the VP of Coldwell Banker. Then I did numerous amounts of Zoom calls with the president and so on and so forth, director of operations, CFO, and I was awarded the position. And he told me this. He said, I'm going to give you this position because I believe that you're the right person for this job. He's like, but my advice is really simple. I'm going to give this to you, but don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And I have one goal for you. And this is going to show me how good that you're going to do in this position. He's like, true leaders know how to move people. So I'm going to give you a challenge on moving people. He's like, in the next 30 days, I want you to post and put together a all hands meeting and award ceremony for this entire department in this entire region. We're talking over 400 agents spread out through 10 different counties all throughout the Bay Area. He's like, I want you to put together everything, the slides, the content, the flow. I want you to order the food. I want you to get together with marketing. I want you to put together the slides. I want you to book the room, get the lights, get the music. And he's like, that's all I'm going to tell you. And I'm like, shit. Like, I literally was like, all right, I'll figure it out. So I worked for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we had a really, really good event. So I get this sense of anxiety when I throw events, because I don't want to have an event that no one's here. So God bless you, Christina. So I just wanted to thank you. I know this was a elongated topic, but I wanted to thank you guys because you guys are showing up, and it really means the world to me, right? Like, my growth in my role and my position is I Futurecast, which that's going to be the topic of today, is Futurecasting, is my ability to see you guys grow, right? It makes no fucking difference at all if I put together these events and no one comes. It makes no difference at all if we put together these events and people come, but there's no growth from it, right? It's one thing putting together these cool things. You go to a seminar, it's like, cool, I got all this great information. But if there's no activity behind it, if there's no production that is related to it, if there's no personal and professional growth, then it's all done in vain. And so I want to just thank you guys for being here, for showing up, and giving to each other, right? This company is all about my brothers and sisters. I'm going to gain from who's above me, who's next to me on the screen. That's what I'm referring to, but I'm going to gain from everybody. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for doing the work every single week. And I truly, truly appreciate you guys. So just want to share that story with you. I'm fortunate that I went to Coldwell Banker because I found Climb, and through Climb, I found Kenny and the team. And I'm glad that Coldwell Banker or Realogy closed down Climb, because we would have never been here together. So I'm super, super glad for that all happening, and that's where we are now. So just wanted to give you guys that thought. And so as we begin today, we're going to talk a little bit about, is that Dad in the background? Today we're going to talk about, what's that?
He just flew in from Lebanon yesterday.
Oh, nice. Did he come with the diamonds?
Dad, did you bring me diamonds?
Sure.
All right. So how many people have ever read the short book or heard the term 212 degrees? Has anybody heard that term before at all? Has anybody, there's a little book, it's called 212 degrees. Has anyone heard of that before? Anybody chime in?
No, I haven't.
No? No, Patrick, you've never heard of 212? Really? Okay. So 212 is the temperature in which water boils. Once water boils, it creates steam. Once you have steam, it's enough to power something as powerful as like a locomotive, right? So sometimes in our business, it takes that extra degree, literally 1 degree to change your complete direction. I want to recommend everybody, if you have not picked up the book, 212, it's a short little book. It's just a great reminder of, wow, 1 degree can give me enough power, enough steam, enough momentum to change my entire career. Highly, highly recommend that you guys pick up that short read. It's called 212. Look it up right now. Feel free to share anything that you guys find on it. But let's do this, you guys. So I want to talk to you guys about Futurecasting. I heard a call the other day, and it really sparked some ideas within me, and I want to have a conversation. We've talked about scripts. We've talked about mindset. Yeah, there it is, the extra degree. Absolutely. So we've talked about all kinds of different things in this environment, and a lot of it has been so organic, right? It's rare that I sit down and I create an agenda like I do for the Tuesday meetings, because I want to make sure that this is a really, really organic environment. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Futurecasting. And what I mean by that is that, things that we're doing right now and how they're going to result into our tomorrow. And I was thinking about this right now in our careers. It is really easy to see the immediate, right? It's easy to see the frustrations that a lot of us are having. It's easy to see, our immediate wins. Man, I just got someone to contract. I just got a new listing. It's easy to see a lot of those things that are right in front of us. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a conversation about what actions are you taking right now that are going to result to your success 5 years from now, right? I want you to start thinking about this long term, and what are the things that I should be doing right now that are going to equate to my success down the road, you guys. And this is big picture conversation. I want to have this conversation. And if you don't have an answer today, cool, right? That's why we're going to start having these conversations, because I want you to start future casting your career. Because mark my words, within 10 years, I'm not going to be sitting in this chair, right? I'm not. I'm going to be doing big things. I have a huge vision for myself, and I'll share that with you once I hear from you guys. But I want you to know that the actions that we take right now, it's going to result in our tomorrow. So a couple questions that I have for you guys. Who do I need to be in order to reach the things that I want to succeed or want to hit in 5 years from now? What does that look like for me? What type of person do I need to be? What type of decisions do I need to make in order for me to get there? What type of investments do I need to make in order for me to get to where I want to be? What type of savings do I need to have in order for me to save the type of money that's going to allow me the freedom to do the things that I want to do, right? I want to have a conversation about future casting for the next 5 years. And so I don't know if anyone has thought about this, but what a great environment in this collective environment to start talking about your future casting. So I'm going to call on a few people today. And if you don't have the answers, you guys, it is cool. We'll freestyle through some of these things, but I wanted to go over to Patrick. Patrick is always a wordsmith on our calls. And so Patrick, let's talk a little bit about your future casting. What, first off, what are you going to accomplish 5 years from now? And what are some things that need to happen now in order for you to be able to reach the things that you're striving for?
I think 5 years from now, let's not do I think. We need more solid affirmation. 5 years from now, I imagine there's going to be a layered structure to how I've sort of built up the infrastructure of my sort of real estate portfolio. And that, obviously when I say portfolio, I don't just mean like buying properties. I mean, my broad set of opportunities. So for example, selling real estate, that's one pillar of it. Having people in my downline, that's another pillar of it. Working with other agents or other clients to acquire properties, whether they be in the Bay Area or out of state. That's a piece of the equation. And ultimately, I think what I want to do is I want to create a multi-layered infrastructure that allows me to begin visualizing what it could be like to live purely off of cash flow. Because ultimately, passive income, subsequently leading to financial freedom, is ultimately, I think, the goal for a lot of us who have sort of dug in and understood real estate, and as far as what kind of vehicle it can be for people. I mean, especially like the folks who use Nipsey Hussle as a conduit. I mean, he is one of the best advocates for insinuating how powerful real estate could be towards, your freedom and allowing you to make the choices you want to make. So I would say just that multi-leveled structure. And honestly, I think EXP is uniquely positioned to accomplish that for all of us, because there's not only the downline structure, there's also the stock. So that's my long-winded answer.
So let me ask you a question. What needs to change today in order for you to start prepping for the things that you want to create tomorrow? What are some habits that you feel that you need to rid yourself of in order to pave the way for you to reach the success that you desire?
I think it's almost less about habits I need to rid myself of. It's more of skills that I just need to get better at. I was listening to this Bigger Pockets episode. For those who don't know, Bigger Pockets is a podcast and a website. It's an incredible resource. If you haven't heard of it, it's one of the best out there, and it's free. And I was listening to this episode with this guy who used to be an NBA agent and basketball player who then became, real estate guy. And he was talking about this time that he had a client who was working out with Kobe Bryant, and they went over to see Kobe Bryant practice. And you'd expect Kobe to be like taking shots from the corner and from, the free throw line and all this stuff. But what Kobe Bryant did was he literally practiced a move. It was this fundamental moves, like something you would see like, a fifth grader basketball camp to be practicing. And he would just practice this move for 3 hours straight. And he didn't shoot the ball once. It was just like pivot, dribble, pivot, dribble, pivot, dribble over and over and over and over and over. And the moral of the story is even the people who are, hanging in the rafters, the people who are going to be immortalized on t-shirts forever, they spend hours of their day doing the most fundamental stuff over and over and over again. Because in order to truly be the best at something, you've got to be able to do the simple stuff better than anyone. So I need to do that when it comes to follow-ups. I need to do that when it comes to calls. I need to do that when it comes to making sure that as my database grows, that I don't become more disorganized. Yeah, I need to make sure it's all in place.
Well said, Patrick. I mean, absolutely love that. I think about it like this. Especially for Kenny and I, right? And where we're going with this company, right? If we didn't have a vision, then how the hell do we know what we need to do in order to reach this bigger vision, right? What happens is that you're working in the immediate, right? I'm always looking down the road, years down the road, to see, well, how is this going to affect our growth down the road? How are we going to be able to scale that? How are we going to be able to leverage that? So it starts with this vision and where I want to go, but then here's my action plan in order to get there. First off, you guys need to have something that you're striving towards. You need to have that bigger goal that's going to pull you, and then making those steps to get better. Like you said, those fundamental things that I need to just pivot, shoot, whatever it is, right? So Patrick, fucking love that response. Let's go to somebody else. Let's go over to Angela. Angela, let's do some future casting. So 5 years from now, like I said, actions today are going to result to your achievements tomorrow. What does that future casting look like for Angela Rose in your real estate career?
Real estate is actually a stepping stone for me, guys. I love real estate. I love what I do, but I've always had a dream to be a flipper. I love construction. I love doing, remodeling homes. And we just did our first one, and it was not easy, guys. And mind you guys, I've worked in construction for over 7 years. So it's definitely it's my happy place, but I want to do that full time. I want to buy my own homes. I want to flip them and list them by myself. But I definitely need to work on, and then this is something sideways, but I need to work on making sure that I'm setting up enough funds where I literally have a bank account that says next flip or this or that. And then I'm in the process of buying my own investment property right now that I'm not going to flip, but I'm going to keep and hand down to my daughters. And I just got my pre-approval letter. So everything's in the works, but like Patrick said, I need to make sure that I'm not forgetting this picture too, because this is helping me grow. I have that picture of where I want to be in 5 years. Don't get lost in the 5 years. Keep your ass moving right now and, keep pushing, because to get to that 5 year, you got to work through right now as well. So that's a hard part for me.
I love that. I love that. So let me ask you, so we're talking about supplemental income, making sure that there's always a stream coming in. How much of your time right now is spent towards focusing on agent attraction?
Not any. I'm going to be completely honest. And it's funny, at that lunch yesterday, I saw Christina in action and how she's talking about it. And mind you, I had drinks, so it came out. Like, it just all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, you see Kenny doing this, and I don't have to dress like that, and I don't have to be like that, and I can come with the bun, and I can talk how I am, and I don't have to cover a tattoo. And when I left, Christina's like, that's agent attraction. I was like, no, that's me. And she was like, no, babe, that's you attracting other people. But this is how bad it got. Like, when I got home, I was like, oh my God, I got anxiety from it. So I need to learn to be, hey, I am who I am. That's what's going to attract people to us. So I need to work on that.
Okay. Well, and I like that we're having this conversation, because as you guys know, Kenny will clear probably, or by the end of the year, he'll clear $1 million in rev share, right? What do we do with the rev share that we earn on a company level, right? So Kenny meets someone, him and I hop on a Zoom call, we invite them into our environment, and we start the process and get them involved in our community, right? Well, once those agents start producing, and obviously many of you guys are attached to my downline and Kenny's downline, is that we take that money and we redirect it into things that are going to help you guys grow as agents. Now, if you guys are happy and you're flourishing, we hope that you're going to stay here and you have a sense of loyalty to the company. But if you're unhappy, then by all means, do your thing. But then also what that's going to do is going to attract other people. So we're taking that money, like you said, Angela, and we're saying, how do we invest that back into the company? It's the same with you. What I would encourage you to do, Angela, is that you have such good presence and you have such good camera presence, is say, hey, guys, I want to share something with you that's near and dear to my heart. I just want to share with you what's happened to me in this last year and how I joined this company. Here was step one, why I chose Team Fast. Here's how the next 3 months went. Here's when I got into my first escrow. Here's how things are going. Here's what happens in the company every single week. Here's things that you can get associated or get involved with. If you want to have any other conversations about things, let me know. Also, link below is all of our team meetings if you want to get a sense of our vibe and our culture. Shit like that is now it's piece by piece by piece, letting them know nothing other than Angela's journey. Because Angela's journey is what means the most to you, right? It doesn't, we're all here for you. We love you, but your story, your voice, and it's not you saying, oh, I'm going to be a recruiter. No, I think what I have to say is really important. And I think that this journey means a lot to me. So let me share this with the world. I would highly, highly encourage you. And you guys have access to the videographer. Start thinking about these things. But step one, my entry into this team, what did that look like for me? All right, cool. Let me talk about that. So good stuff. Let's go on to somebody else. Let's do some future casting conversations. Kevin Magna, when we have this conversation about future casting and you're looking down the road, obviously you are a very systematic man in the way that you think. Let's do a little future casting with your business. Talk to me. What's on the horizon for you?
So what's on my mind is I got to get 2 kids through college, and the first one starts in less than 8 years, right? So how do I, build my business? I mean, the past, I'm really highly focused on passive income development right now. For probably since COVID started, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. I've done a ton of, my whole Twitter is just about commercial and residential real estate investment. I get on these meetups with out-of-state investors. And then you've got what EXP brings to the table. And I'm just so eager, and I lost out on another big dog yesterday, a $1.8 million. I want to build my business so that, I can show people that where I came from, my prior broker, that this team is legit and you will get traction. And I know I can bring and build a team underneath me that will just help me, further my business and put me in a position to help them be successful. And, I want that so bad.
Okay, so what do you think needs to happen right now in order for you to put some of these things into motion? Because 8 years, man. So here's the 2 things. It's either A, your kids go to this amazing college, or they become fucking YouTubers and make us all rich. Right? It's like,
totally,
man.
totally.
If my son says, Dad, I don't think I want to go to college, I think I'm going to be a YouTuber, and I think I have an avenue to make, review toys online. Cool, son. Let's make the money. So
yeah,
what
I just want to be able to give them the choice, right? And I want to be able to have that in my back pocket. They may not even know. I might not even be able to. I might not even tell them, right? It's just like, hey, you want to go that path? Awesome. Oh, you want me to invest in your business? Perfect. Let's do that instead, right? And so, where am I today to help make them happen? Where are my shortcomings? I think it's. I'm really focused on trying to build in public, right? I think last weekend, I really tried to show, here's the 9 open house showings that I did on Sunday. I'm really just kind of showing my community. You pushed me 2 weeks ago and actually, I think your branding call on Monday, I watched it last night, and merging my business and my public persona into one Instagram channel, and to really just show, hey, this is Kevin Magna, right? Here's my crew. We're having a pink birthday party at the park for my daughter. And then the next day we're showing $2 million houses because I know how to get that done, right? And just further building that energy to show and to, get traction.
So Kevin, I like what you said. And one thing stood out to me is that, build a team down the road. Well, in order for you to build a team, you said you wanted to convey the difference between our team and the current, or the brokerage that you came from before, right? And how this has been, totally a difference and a change for you. So my challenge to you is how are you documenting that, right? When you're sharing with everybody the differences with Team Fast and where you came from, how do people know those differences, right? I would schedule, if I was each of you guys, I would just schedule the shoot with Envision. Figure it out, right? Be like, okay, I got my session next fucking Tuesday. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but at least I scheduled it. Because what's going to happen is it's going to push you. That night before, Monday night, you're going to be focused on, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Here's the flow. Here's what I want you to do. Get this side. This is my good side. Cool. You're right. You're going to push yourself. So knowing that that's what you want to do down the road, start building the content. And you guys leverage Envision, because this is how you are going to be able to put yourself on a platform and start sharing this with the masses. So Kevin, I love your thoughts. I didn't know that you wanted to build a team, man. And what better place to be, because we have the DNA to show you this is how you build a team. Now go out and do it on your own, and we'll be there to support you every step of the way, man. So I absolutely love it. Sonny, I'm going to head over to you, my man. Sonny has been out showing homes and helping so many agents in all kinds of different cities. So Sonny, first off, I appreciate you. Sonny, let's talk a little bit about vision for you and do some future casting with you on this conversation.
Well, for a vision for myself, 5 years down the line, I definitely see myself as a full-time agent, no longer working as a leasing management. Because right now I'm just, oh man, sorry, I'm not ready.
You're not ready for this call?
no, I'm not ready for this. I don't have a vision. You know, I definitely want to do more. I want to have my own clients. I want to build.
Sonny, let me stop you there, bro. Thank you for being transparent, and it's okay, right? It's okay. If you don't have a vision right now of your future cast, that is so okay, you guys. My hope is that each of you leave with something provoked in your mind of, okay, I really need to start. I'm 41 years old, you guys, and maybe that this is more prevalent in my mind because I'm 41. I got a freaking almost soon to be 3-year-old. I'm looking at big picture. I'm thinking about national. I'm thinking about international. I'm thinking about center stage at Inman and sharing this story right here with thousands and thousands of people across the country and being the national vice president of sales, national president of sales for Fast Real Estate. Like, I have a huge vision. And if you don't have that now, bro, it is totally okay. But I promise you, you're going to walk away and start thinking about these things, man. So Sonny, we'll come back to that conversation, bro, but I really appreciate you being humble enough to say, I'm not ready yet. I don't have one. And I'm sure it will come to you. Let's go over to Christina. Christina, you're not even on the team yet. You haven't even taken your license yet. So let's talk about your vision.
I'm all over the place. I have so many. I have to like narrow it down, but I can, you know, begin to say I'm right behind Angela. Part of my why is I completely remodeled my house and I fell in love with the process. I'm like, I want to do this forever, but I need capital. So this is a stepping stone for me. I want to be able to buy and flip homes. And I think I can do that way sooner than 5 years, but that's going to be hopefully my full time. But another reason, another thing in my 5-year plan is a huge reason why I chose this company is because I can build a team. Like yesterday, for example, I made 3 contacts. I planted 3 separate seeds with 3 existing agents. So I'm already working on that. And it's something that's just excuse me. It's something that's just coming out of me genuinely. So the fact that I can build a team, I would love a huge downline, just like you and Kenny have. So that's another, you know, something else that's on my vision in 5 years. And being an epic agent in Tri-Valley.
That's right. That's right. You guys, when we think about this agent attraction piece, and like I said, I don't want anybody to be a recruiter on this call, but I just want you to organically do what you're doing and share your message and document your journey. There's agents out there that have 1,000 people in their downline. They don't ever have to sell real estate again. They're sitting on millions and millions of dollars every single year by simply being somebody that attracted. If you guys have not booked your trips to go and see Tony Robbins, I would highly encourage you guys to do that. Here's why. The immediate says, damn, that's a pricey ticket to pay. I got to go, but we're actually going to reimburse you for the ticket. So, okay, there's you getting the money back. Well, darn it, that's some time away. You have to start thinking about this, right? I'm putting money into myself now because of who the person that I want to become in this business, the relationships that I want to be able to build, and to be able to be around these people that are already doing it, and to be able to see Tony Robbins. You guys, when I first did the Tony Robbins series, and I did it on CDs, changed my life forever. I didn't even know what mental conditioning was, and that changed my life forever. For me to go and see him and be a part of that energy, and it's crazy and it's lit and the music and all this hype, fuck, I'm doing that because it's a part of my future and it's so and so important. And for me to do that with team members and then to do that with my partner, Jen, on and off the field, that's powerful. Powerful to say, this is what we want to accomplish in our life together. Like how strong that's going to be for us. So yeah, highly encourage each of you to go to that. Let's go over to Fred Washington. Fred Washington, let's do a little bit of future casting and let's have this conversation.
Well, in 5 years, I want to be a top producing agent so that I can start leveraging that capital into, and I know this is going to be cliche because a lot of people have gone here, but I want to start flipping and getting investment properties as well for passive income. And even though I haven't been big on the, connecting with other agents to create a downline, obviously that's something that I know I need to get myself out there more, and start making more connections with other agents and bring them over to the team. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to work for EXP at this point. Team Fast is amazing. And everything that we offer to people. You know, I know that I don't want to sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's honestly true. You get to be yourself. You're appreciated for what you can bring. Everybody's individualism, you know, they can play a part to help out the group as a whole. And I really appreciate that. I worked for Trader Joe's for 10.5 years. And I always say that, you know, that's whatever business I'm in, I want it to be similar to that, and that the people that are there, everybody has something to bring to the table. And I feel it's very important, because that is always going to make your team stronger. And, you know, you guys are allowing us to be ourselves so we can bring our best every day. And you don't get that in a lot of places that are focused on the company and the company's brand more so than the individuals.
Man, I love that. I love that. So let me ask you a question, Fred. How many properties do you see in your portfolio in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years?
So I like that you didn't have an immediate answer.
Well,
you know,
I'm thinking numbers, you know, I'm thinking the build up.
So next time, so think about this. And I want you to get really, really granular with how much money do I want to make? What's going to be in my portfolio? What is that going to allow me to do in my life? How is it going to give me a sense of diversification? Like, start thinking about those big picture. Like someone just put cash flow per unit, like start mapping this whole thing out, because the clearer that your vision is, it's going to make the actions that you do today make even more sense, right? Because now I know exactly where I'm heading. I have my compass. My compass is my plan, all the activities that I'm doing to get there. But we could throw, it's like writing a goal down at the beginning of the year. I want to make $100,000 a year, and I fold my fucking folder up and I put it and I never look at it. I want it to be so fucking real that you wake up every single day and that is something that is pulling you and is compelling every single day, and it's never approached haphazardly ever. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation, because I see a lot of great opportunities for us to really grow and really start mapping this out. So Damian, let's hear from you, my man. So I look at you as someone that is a visionary, man. You know, the way that you write, your music, things that you've been through. I was watching some stuff that you posted, an interview with you and somebody earlier, and I just thought that it was really good. That's the type of stuff, man, that I want to see more from you. That's how the interview and you being humble, man, like that shit was fire.
Thank you. That's more along the lines of what my 5-year is, and you know, my wife would probably suggest that I add more financial aspirations in there, but I'm a full believer that I'll be just fine in those regards. But for 5 years, you know, I'll be nearing the age of 45, and I want to be at 3 books published by then. And so that's really my goal. I want to publish my 2nd book within the next couple years, and then be on my 3rd within that 5 years. And I mean, beyond that, like really my ultimate aspiration is figure out how to some way get involved in more public service, even if it's city council or something that, you know, at a smaller level. But I do really have an interest in politics. And so now I'm just studying history and avenues to try to be an impact in that way. My whole goal is just to be of service. So I'm just trying to up my game in that in those regards.
Dude, I had no idea. I had no idea that that's what you're aspiring to do. And so you've already written a book.
Yeah. I published a book in 2018.
Where do we get a copy?
Amazon, America's Young Black Male 2000. It's about 600 pages, but
just a quick read, right?
I have way too much to say, but the next one will be way more pointed and have a lot more literary value to it. This one, again, I just had a lot of stuff to get off my chest, and it was obvious. But yeah, I'm gonna fine tune it with the 2nd go around.
Dude, I had no idea, but it makes perfect sense, man. Really, really good stuff. Kyle, let's hear from you, my man. You've came into this game and really changed some things up in the last 5 months, seeing some tremendous growth. So when you're thinking in your future casting, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, when I first started this thing a couple of years ago with the different company, I had like all these goals and this huge vision and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And then I really started to lose all that. And, you know, lately I've just been picking it all back up and kind of putting all the pieces back together, you know, realizing why I want to do all these things and why I'm even doing this. And there's a lot of reasons why, but I mean, eventually I'd like to get into coaching. You know, I went to a couple of events. The first thing that got me really into real estate is I went to one of these fortune builders seminars, you know, about how you can flip houses and just pay for this and you're good to go. But the speaker up there, I related to a lot. He had a lot of similar life experiences to myself. And I just love the way he was up there on stage and the way he talked and the way he moved people. And that's, you know, I like to bring that energy up to people. And so eventually, you know, I'd love to be on stage and doing that with the crowd and stuff like that. So that's something along the lines of what I want to do in coaching and stuff. And then also, man, get into those apartment buildings. I'm looking to go over to Texas and buy them up. You know what I mean? So that's the next rise in California. So might as well catch it while it's hot. But
Nice.
man, just keep moving to the top in real estate. Like I said yesterday, I'm like that big stone ball rolling down in Indiana Jones coming after the top agents. Watch out.
I mean, based on what Kyle's saying, I mean, how many people could see him, you know, on stage somewhere and leading a group and hyping a group up? Like, I totally can, man. And it's funny you say that. I attended a fortune builder seminar probably about 11, 12 years ago. Walked in, liked the speaker, actually bought the stuff and didn't even stay for the event. I was like, all right, we're just going to do it. I bought all the stuff and we went and bought tax deeds or defaults and stood at the court and you know, did the auction. I did all that. It was super, super fun. But I actually applied with Fortune Builders to be a speaker because I was so moved by the speaker, bro. So I definitely could see that in your future. And if that's something that you want to do starting here, continue doing what you're doing and being a leader already. And I'll tell you what, Kenny and I have already had these conversations. We're already noticing things that you're doing, man. So I think that you have some opportunities right here within the own company to grow and start becoming a coach. So good stuff, Kyle. Absolutely love that. Let's hear from Terry. Terry Daniel, I want to hear from you. You know, you guys have stepped onto the scene. You guys have done some really great things as a team, as the Spivey Daniel team, in just a short amount of time. So, like, what's on the horizon? What's the big vision for the Spivey Daniel team?
So the vision for the Spivey Daniel team, I wish you would have called Pam because she can say it better in the sense of
I'll call on her next.
Okay. It actually started with the Pamela Spivey team. The Pamela Spivey team was the vision of having the downlines and the agents, and it's just the companies weren't matching up with how it would flow. But now that we're at EXP and with Fast Agent, that was the vision, to see it get to this point. And then each person on the team, they get a downline and build a team. But more importantly, when you start talking about 5 years out, for some of the people that are younger here on this platform, you guys, you have also some of the older people that are on the platform that kind of planned this stuff out years ago. So Pam was the one that was the reason why I ended up in real estate. Pam was the reason that he basically gave us our visions, in the sense of that although you're selling real estate and you're getting big checks, you have to understand what to do with that money. So in the sense of basically financially preparing yourself so you don't have to live check to check. Because if you're good and you keep working hard, yes, you're going to get paid, but then you have to think of long term. Because people, like in the situation where I am now, you have to be, the kids already went to college. That's already paid for. So now we're talking about, are you going to be 72 opening the door and letting people in? No, your vision changes in the sense of we have all these younger people on the platform that we can give back to and say, hey, this is a better way to do it. This is how we used to do it. But basically thinking of from the mindset of systems. There has to be systems, not only in how you run your business, there has to be systems in how you visualize your life down the road, as far as insurance, as far as, you know, having that money for flipping. You have to basically put all those steps into place. Who's going to be your attorney? Who's going to be your, you know, just how you think who's going to be the doctor for the kids, you have to think about who's going to be the doctor for your business, in the sense of covering all those different avenues that are going to come up. I could go on, but Pam.
I love this because you've taken it to a different level, because some of the people I called on are relatively new in the business. Now you guys have hit a level in your business. It's like, all right, what's next? Like, right? I don't want to open doors at 72 years old, but I want to be able to have a team and assets that are diversified so I don't have to ever open a door again. So I love the way you're thinking. So Pamela, let's build off of that. The visionary of the Spivey Daniels.
Am I off mute?
You are.
Terry pretty much, she pretty much called it. It's kind of interesting you saying that, because I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, we were saying, okay, what is it going to look like? My goal was to be done. I'm 56, and 50, I was like, okay, 50, we're done. And we did everything to be done, of course, and then the market crashed. And it like pretty much changed everything for us. And here, 56, like Terry said, I don't want to be 72 open and still open up doors. So right now, 5 years, I'm definitely not going to be open. One of my goals, I will not be opening up doors, but definitely I will, I can, grow the team and, do the down, get to have the agent attraction. There's so many other ways that I can still, and do investments, so I like the idea that I will not be opening doors at 72. I can tell you that right now. Okay. But just the thought, there's so many other options available through the EXP fast real estate model. I love it. The agent attraction, that's a whole nother game. The stocks. Right. Yep. So everybody that's younger on the team, they're like so much ahead, there's so many opportunities. And I love that you're having that conversation with everyone now.
Yes, I think it's an important conversation to have. And for the Spivey Daniel team, we're actually doing an agent spotlight video with them. We're gonna document their journey here. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna put that in, because Michael's doing, tons of content for them, but we're actually gonna leverage Envision. We're gonna get them all sitting, all three of them. We're going to do an interview with them. So that's coming soon for them. I'm really excited about that. And it's going to just be a great opportunity for you guys to grow even more. So good stuff. Really appreciate it. Let's go to Raymond. I had lunch with Raymond 2 days ago. We had some ceviche, just talking shop and talking about his vision and his growth. So Raymond, let's talk a little bit about this vision you have for yourself. Let's do some future casting.
I think I kind of agree with Kyle. Like, how Kyle mentioned I had a lot of visions and a lot of these things, like bigger ideas when I was a little bit younger, and I know I'm still pretty young. I'm not too old yet, but I feel like I'm getting there. And I feel like, as you get a little bit older and you start working like these regular jobs, a lot of those dreams start to go by the wayside. But that's why I was like, wanted to come join the team. I wanted to get part of this because I didn't want those ideas to die. Really what I want to do, like I want to be in real estate for like the next 20, 25 years, maybe 30 years. But I just want to own more investment properties. But also, as you mentioned earlier, like it's really easy to focus on the short-term goals. Like right now, I'm just thinking about like, I need to get into escrow. Like, I just need to close some deals. Those are the things that I'm really focusing on. So I'm not really focused like on like a long-term 5-year plan at the moment. But one thing that I really try to remind myself like constantly is like, don't focus on those goals or those short-term goals, right? Or closing those deals or whatever. Just focus on the actions that you need to do every day because it'll lead to it. I don't know who said this quote because I've seen so many different people like tagged on it, but it's like, don't focus on building a wall. Focus on laying one brick at a time. And next time you look up, there'll be a wall in front of you, right? So that's really what I've been focusing on a lot more is just like my daily habits, my goals that I'm doing right now, like, right? Just making sure that I'm putting in the work, making sure that I'm showing up, like making sure that I'm doing everything that's going to lead to what I want in the future. But at the moment, like I don't have like a set 5-year goal. Like I just know that I just want to keep working. I just want to keep working as hard as I am now, if not harder. And, like that's really where I'm at. And in 5 years, I just want to look back and see where I'm at. And also I just talked to a broker in San Francisco, I was getting connected with a few people and he was telling me like, man, if you're in this business to make $100,000, he's like, there's a lot easier jobs to get, right? He's like, there's jobs you can get that make benefits and all sorts of things like that. If you're just here to make 100,000, 120, 150,000, like you're in the wrong business. And I was like, that's the truth, right? Like I'm in here to make some bigger money. Like I told you the other day, sitting down, like one of my biggest goals I'm thinking about right now is like, I just want to buy my mom Tesla. Like that's what I've been thinking about a lot. So
that's right, man. You know what? I absolutely love that. And well said. I left $150,000 salary in order for me to become a millionaire. That's how I looked at it. I'm going to leave $150,000 on the table and all the benefits and guarantee for my son in order to be a millionaire, right? In order to have the freedom to be a millionaire, right? And that's what I gave up in order for me to be able to reach my goals and reach my vision. And a lot of this sparked when I was a kid. when I was on the streets, and I want to share something. I want to let you guys in. So I wrote something, and I have all these old journals that I reflect back on sometimes to kind of think about, God, what was I thinking in like 1999? What was I thinking in 2000? I already saw a vision for myself. I already knew that I was going to be a great father. I already knew that I was going to be successful. I just had that vision in my mind because I came from nothing, right? I came from poverty. And so I always said, I'm going to create a lifestyle for myself where I'll never have to go back to that. And I wrote this verse once, and it said, I'm willing to fight until my knuckles are bare and bleed, and I reach and succeed everything that destiny has planned for me. Have I planted my seed, a little product of reproduction to continue this family and stop this cycle of insanity? I refuse to be damned in a life of poverty, hustling and suffering with 5 mouths to feed when your mom would rather spend her money on an HIT. That's how I felt at the time. And I say that because it meant so much to me. My mom was a drug addict on the streets, smoking meth. We didn't have anywhere to go. But even when we were at our lowest moments, when I was at my lowest moments, I had a vision of what I was going to do, who I was going to be, the man that I was going to be, the father that I was going to be, the husband that I will be. I had a vision, you guys. And so I wanted to have this conversation about future casting because I want you to look forward. I want you to look at what you guys are reaching for and what is that macro picture. If you could close your eyes right now and see all the things that you have in your life and what you have done for your family and how you have created this life of abundance and the house that you bought your mom or the investment property that you bought your family or that compound that you bought up in the mountains, and every single year your family comes together because you bought a piece of land and you guys built a manufactured home and you guys made this huge, environment like Karina did for her family. Those are the things that I want you to focus on, because those are the things that are going to push you and continue to push you. And when you get that knock on the chin, when it's hard right now, I'd be like, okay, cool. I can take this because I know what's on the other end of it. So you guys, I wanted to hit you with that because it means a lot to me. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about these things because I want to always be here for you guys, but I also want to be able to push you guys always in your career to start to think. And so I want to leave you with that. I have about 5 minutes. I want to go around the room, do some quick takeaways, and go over to Martinique. Martinique, quick takeaways from today's sesh.
Start building my vision. 5 years. I was thinking the whole time, like, what am I going to do? But takeaways were just so much. I don't even know where to start. That was a great verse right there too, Elias.
Oh, thanks.
I just need to start writing down my goals, like figuring out my 5-year plan and execute. That's all I keep thinking. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Melissa, how about for you? What were some takeaways from today's sesh?
This is a really important conversation. So thank you for having it. Cause I think it's so true, even though like I'm one of the older ones too, I still got stuck because I changed careers. I still got stuck in the like daily life that keeps you down and not seeing your vision, where you're just like on this kind of treadmill. So thank you. And just, we hear this all the time, but it's just a good reminder. You can't get to where you're going if you don't know where that is. You absolutely have to know what you're working towards and what your vision is. And so I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Will, let's have you bring us home, Will. Will, what were some of your takeaways from today's session? And good to see you, my man. Congratulations on your closing this morning, handing off keys at 6 a.m. in the morning. Love that. So Will, bring us home, my brother. What was your takeaways from today's session? Are you in Walnut Creek?
It's so easy to get distracted in this, right? So you have to focus. Sometimes you're just gonna have to celebrate small wins at a time and every day, like I always say so I came from Bangkok with nothing. I used to sleep in the closet, used to save half of my lunch for dinner, if you guys don't know me. And I have today already. And I always tell myself all the time, like I hit rock bottom already and every day it's a bonus. So it's a bonus today, guys.
Awesome. Well, Will, if you guys don't know Will's story, He came here to this country with nothing in hopes for a better life, literally lived in a closet underneath the stairs, worked for restaurants in San Francisco and found his way, got married, bought a house, and now is running a flourishing real estate career. So but he always knew, like, I'm going to create something better for my life, and look what he's done. And he's been a staple of growth, and now he's helping other agents help them get out of their full-time position because they want to do this. And so, Will, thank you. You guys, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you coming and learning and listening and sharing. And I'm looking forward to us continuing to grow these groups. So feel free, if you guys get something out of it, invite other people to come. Let's share the word with them. Let's share the love, and let's bring them into our environment. Once again, Kyle, thank you for hosting the Prospecting Challenge. One more time for the people in the back of the room. When does it start?
9:30 right after this meeting, and we're calling from 9:30 to 12:30. Bring on the heat.
And then if you guys are doing it from home, just hit Kyle with your stats so he can post that on social. So you guys, really, really good job. Thank you for everything, for being here, for holding me accountable. Appreciate you guys more than you guys know. Get out there and always stay focused on your vision. I always say this, keep it moving. And keep it moving comes from keep it moving towards your goals, dreams, and vision, and never lose sight of that, you guys. So have a wonderful, wonderful day and keep crushing it, you guys. Have a wonderful day.